guys. So this week, I thought that we would do a little librarian magic. We would talk about some of the stuff that librarians do that people think is magic, but is actually not. So I thought we would talk read-alikes. So you know how often you read a book and it's wonderful and you finish it and you're kind of sad that it's over and you don't know what to read next because everything feels like it will kind of pale in comparison. So then you talk to your librarian and they give you some authors or some titles, and I'm sure some don't hit, but many do, right? There's a science to that. So we use reference interviews to find read-alikes, but I'm going to teach you a little bit about how to do it today and give you a couple examples. So the first thing I will tell you is it is as simple as you can just Google the name of the title or author and read alike, and you will come up with library lists and book page lists, and they'll give you titles and authors that are similar in tone or in nature. So that's always a really easy fix that people don't often think of. But my caution on that is that those are going to be more generic. So the way to tailor it to yourself is to really drill down about what it is that you like about whatever that book is. So one of the books I'm going to talk about today is Girl on a Train, which was hugely popular a few years ago. And if you haven't read it, you totally should. It's really good. But when you would come to me and say, I want another book like that, my questions would be along the lines of, well, what did you like about it? Did you like that it was set in England? Did you like that it was a fast-paced thriller? Did you like that it had a female lead? Did you like that there was an element of not trusting the narrator and a big twist? Is there, like, which one of these things, or several, it may be more than one of those. And so once you tell me that, then it enables me to kind of connect you with some other books that have those important elements to you that make you enjoy it a lot. So we call that, it's a reference interview, and reader's advisory is the other word for it. And we make up lists sometimes, but I find the more I can talk to an individual person, the better that I can do at matching them with the next book that they're going to like. So I'm going to start with The Girl on the Train today, which is the one I just mentioned. That's a fast-paced thriller. Takes place in England, has a good twist, great female character as a lead. And so some of the other ones that I read that I thought were similar in some of those elements, the one author I always recommend to anybody who liked Paula Hawkins' Girl on the Train is Ruth Ware. And this one in particular, In a Dark, Dark Wood, which I believe is being made into a movie just like Girl on a Train was. So it's about women. It does take place in England. It is a thriller. There are twists and turns. And Ruth Ware has written a number of books that I would recommend because I think they even get better. Her later ones are a little more Agatha Christie-esque, Turn of the Key, and they're excellent, really, really good. But this one is very similar, I found. And when I recommend this In a Dark, Dark Wood to people, they often really enjoy it if they liked Girl on a Train. So then there is another one called Before the Fall by Noah Hawley. And it's about an airplane crash and the couple on the airplane. So it's not solely a woman lead, but there is a main female character. And it unravels the mystery of what happened. And I listened to this one on audio, actually, and really enjoyed it. And then there is another one that I've recommended to almost everybody who loved A Girl on the Train is I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh. And actually on the cover, there is a plot kind of summary and I guess, what would you call it? I'm blanking. It's Paula Hawkins, who wrote Girl on the Train, wrote a blurb for it and said how great it is. So that kind of tells you that they're in a similar vein. So I Let You Go, again, main female lead, and great twist. I have to admit that I'm on the naive side, I think, because I never see it coming. So whenever there's a twist and people are like, oh, I saw that a million miles away, I never see it coming, which is great for this because I'm surprised every time. So I loved this book. And then lastly, one that I connected with very deeply, The Book of Speculation by Erica Swyler. So this one features not only a female lead, but a librarian female lead. And it takes place on the North Shore of Long Island, near the water. Many of these are near the water. And there's a lot of really interesting twists and turns. And the Book of Speculation is actually a log book from a traveling circus. And there's a family connection and a lot of delving into history, and the librarian being the main character, of course, sold me on it. So those are some of my recommendations for The Girl on the Train. And then I thought we would talk about a more recent popular one, which I don't have a copy of in book form here because it's checked out, but I have audio, Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. And this was a huge hit. It still is. It's still not on the shelf. And it does have a female lead. It focuses a lot on themes of isolation and nature, heavy on nature in this. A lot of scientific observation and a lot of just, I know that's one of the things that I enjoyed about it, was its focus on the natural world around her. It takes place in the kind of low country in the Carolinas, and it's just very atmospheric, and there's a lot of themes of like unrequited love, and it's not like a fast-paced kind of book, but it's excellent. So I thought I would give some other recommendations since so many people love this. Maybe there's some others here that you might enjoy. So one of the ones that is often suggested is Kristin Hannah's The Great Alone. This one takes place in Alaska, so it's set in a beautiful setting again, and it is does deal with themes of isolation, and it was an excellent story, and I think does strike similar notes to Where the Crawdads Sing. So Kristin Hannah, The Great Alone. Then there is this one by Paula McLean called Circling the Sun. So it depends on what you love about Where the Crawdads Sing, but this one is about a woman again, and a brave woman who, the lead character in Where the Crawdads Sing is a very brave young woman who's been through a lot. So this one is it's historical fiction, so it's based on the life of Beryl, and I'm blanking on her last name, but she was Beryl Markham. She was a record-setting aviator, and so she's very adventurous. And because this was in the early 1900s, 1920s in Africa, so there's a lot of adventure, and she's a really strong character, and there is a lot of nature and discussion of that kind of stuff. I loved this book, and I think it has, again, some similar themes to Where the Crawdads Sing. So Circling the Sun by Paula McLean. Then, if you're really into the nature aspect of Where the Crawdads Sing, I might recommend The Signature of All Things by Elizabeth Gilbert. Now, you may know Elizabeth Gilbert from her nonfiction book, Eat, Pray, Love. That was a huge hit and made into a movie. This is a work of fiction, and I honestly wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not, and I loved it. So this has a female lead. There is some themes of loneliness and isolation, but I would say the biggest connection to Where the Crawdads Sing is its notice of nature. So the main character in this one is big into botanical drawings. She becomes famous for it, which is not unsimilar, now that I'm thinking of it, to the main character in Where the Crawdads Sing. And she has it's a lot about the flowers and the plants, and in a beautiful, lyrical kind of way. Again, not fast-paced. This is not like a page-turner kind of book, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I know we have so many gardeners in the area who love plants and flowers. You might really enjoy this if you haven't read it yet. And even if you read Eat, Pray, Love and didn't love it, give this a try, because it's excellent in a way that I think some people might not have. They blew her off as kind of a pop phenomenon and didn't have any faith in her ability to write an amazing novel, and this novel is really, really good. Very character driven, and like I said, kind of lyrical and beautiful. So highly recommend The Signature of All Things by Elizabeth Gilbert. Then there is Lisa Wingate's Before We Were Yours, which, it's a poignant novel, a story of families. So there are some similar elements, and it takes place in Mississippi on a river. So there is some connection with the kind of atmosphere that it's set in compared to Where the Crawdads Sing. She's a pretty popular author, and this book was a bestseller. And if you haven't picked it up yet, these are all not new books too, which I'm hoping means there won't be wait lists if you request them we own them all, I'm holding them all, but the library system also has them, Mid-Hudson. So I'm hoping that means you'll be able to get your hands right on them if you're interested in them. So Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate. And the last one, I don't have a book format, I have an audio book format to show you, but it's Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. And this is different. It's not about nature so much, but if you connected with the main character in Where the Crawdads Sing, Kaya, I think you might connect with this character. She has kind of trouble with social skills, and she does deal with isolation and kind of unrequited feelings for people. And she meets somebody who she's kind of interested in, and it's warm and uplifting and very smart. It's really smartly written. and she becomes kind of like a little heroine in her own story, which is similar to Kaya in Where the Crawdads Sing. So I would maybe recommend this book. Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. If the thing that captured you about Where the Crawdads Sing is the main character and sort of her dealing with being alone a lot and searching within herself, and those themes are all very prevalent in this one. The other ones may have more of the nature element if that's more what you're interested in. So those are my read-alikes for this week. I hope that you learned a little something about library skills and what they teach us in library school. And I am happy to help you if you are reading a great book and you're looking for the next thing. Definitely email us, give us a call. I am happy to do Reader's Advisory and help you out. And yeah, I would love to hear which books you're looking for, ones that are similar to. I'm just picking some popular ones here, but I would love to hear. So let us know, and also try Googling it and putting in your book and read alike and seeing what comes up, because you may be surprised with the next best book. So thanks so much, and we'll be back next week. And I'm so happy to be seeing you all doing curbside pickup and doing our story walk, which is outside. And yeah, it's been great being back. So we look forward to seeing you all, and you will see us again next week. Bye.